Hello, my name is Sweetwater, and this is my video about what Second Life means to me. It's first of all my refuge, a place where I can let down my hair and just be whoever I am. Real life, I think, can be brutal sometimes, or at least unpredictable. But Second Life is always just as I left it and just as I want it. Now, I suppose that could change if Second Life were ever to go away, but for now it's here. And I can live exactly as I want in Second Life, leave the doors open to the sea at night, and leave my bed unmade if I want, and always have my dreams and the memories that I cherish close at hand. And for me, a lot of those memories have to do with the Sim of Farhaven, where I was first welcomed when I came into Second Life, and where I still make my home today. I attend dances like this, I go to poetry group readings, and then in the winter we all have fun racing on the seal tracks. I think the people are one of the best things about Second Life. We're all avatars here, but behind every avatar is a real person that you can get to know. I do a lot of writing in my real life, and I like to do that writing inside of Second Life. I have this wonderful computer. It was built by Apple Fall, and I can write all my stories, my poems, even my blog posts right here in Second Life on this computer. And you might wonder, why would you want to do that? It sounds rather complicated. Well, it allows me to be immersed in the story as I write it, and then just to get up from the computer and build the images and the setting inside of Second Life. Here's an example. This is a story that I wrote called Pieces of Your Heart, which I made into this video. It's about a little boy who never really lived, except in the imagination of his one true friend, the robot. And the little boy was inspired by a brother of mine who was stillborn and never really lived. But in the story anyway, the little boy and his friend travel through space in the boy's radio flyer wagon. They meet this loving family of robots, but all the while they're not really alive. They're sitting in this kind of ethereal park. And then at the end of the story, they say goodbye to each other and vanish in a flash of light to wherever it is that that little boy had to go from this earth. Now, this story could be disturbing, but in Second Life I was able to add these colorful images and a bit of nostalgia, so I think it wound up being touching. I build poem parks in Second Life where you can walk through a poem. This one is Wordsworth's poem, I Wandered Lonely as a Cloud, with the line about the host of golden daffodils. And I build these parks, I think, out of the hope that we all have, that we can live in the beauty that we create. Here's another poem park I built called Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening, Robert Frost's poem about miles to go before I sleep. And this was a winter scene. I loved it. I left it even into the springtime. And then Farley Crabgrass made this beautiful machinima featuring a scene called A Second Life Winter's Night with him and his partner here. And what is so lovely about this video in particular is that Farley has passed on in real life, but this video of him and of this scene still exists. I think my most popular poem park, by far, was Peter Cottontail, Coming Down the Bunny Trail. People just loved this. It was around Easter time when I put it up, and I had little bunny carts that people could ride around in. I think it was the color and the fun and the silliness of it all that people liked the most. And maybe that's a lot of what people like about Second Life itself. I started poem parks by building a flower path where flowers bloomed and gave out the line of a poem when avatars walked on them. I had a lot of help from the scripter Vantori Cerati on that one, and Vlad Bjornson built the path. I had seen replicas of visual places and even a painting once in Second Life, but I hadn't seen very many replicas of words, as in a poem, and this idea of transforming words into virtual walkthrough images fascinated me. And the reverse is also true. Images that I build in Second Life inspire poetry, words, inside me. I'll give you an example. Say I'm looking out my window and this is what I see, this rocky beach, and I just sit back and let the images create words in my imagination. And in this case, here's a little snippet of a poem that came to me. They say that what is past is lost forever in the mists of time. But what if love could summon wind to find a bygone dream and play it on the harp again, a different octave? Dreams are wild and lonely things. Away from those who love them, they lose form and mingle with the mists of time forever, till love calls them home again, in from the storm. Perhaps I'll leave you now with a peek at my newest poem park. It's not ready yet, but it's coming along. It's E.E. Cummings' poem, Maggie and Millie and Molly and May. Just imagine yourself on this beach walking through this poem. Maggie and Millie and Molly and May went down to the beach to play one day, and Maggie discovered a shell that sang so sweetly she couldn't remember her troubles, and Millie befriended a stranded star whose rays 5 languid fingers were, and Molly was chased by a horrible thing which raced sideways while blowing bubbles, and May came home with a smooth round stone, as small as a world and as large as a loan. For whatever we lose, like a you or a me, it's always ourselves we find in the sea.